We are back on Collision. It's time for Gabe Kidd's debut. As we go back to the ring, and here is Arkadiara. Take it away, Arkady.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall with a 20-minute time limit. Introducing first from Nottingham, England, weighing 220 pounds. Already,
I'm the coldest fight boy in the game. Are you back?
One of the most brash, one of the most confident athletes competing in New Japan Pro Wrestling today. But as Kenny Omega found out firsthand earlier this year, Gabe Kidd can back up every bit of that talk.
If just at a quick glimpse, fellas, he reminds me of Fedor. That the look, the hair, the body.
And his opponent from Buffalo, New York, weighing 273 pounds, The Butcher!
Not just another pretty face is The Butcher, but this is going to be a physical matchup.
I believe the term for this one, JR, may be a hoss fight.
The Butcher making his 122nd AEW match. He's been around and has been successful. Leads all AEW wrestlers in Battle Royal eliminations. But right now, Gabe Kidd is assaulting him from the opening bell.
Gabe Kidd highlighted one of the biggest events in the history of New Japan Pro Wrestling not that long ago.
Yeah, it was Wrestle Dynasty, January 5th at the Tokyo Dome. Gabe Kidd greeting Kenny Omega in Omega's return to the ring. And it was Gabe Kidd that very nearly had defeated Kenny Omega in that match. Omega, of course, pulled out the victory, but Gabe Kidd opening a lot of eyes on an international stage with that performance, JR.
He certainly opened Tony Khan's eyes because he's here now.
Shoulder tackle that time, but right up against the ropes. And there you see Butcher say, do it again. Gabe Kidd, a chop.
And you know, Gabe Kidd, of course, is the man that broke Eddie Kingston's leg when Kingston was a Continental Champion. As we take a look at Don Callis watching the action here tonight. But Eddie Kingston put on the shelf by Gabe Kidd, and Kidd now making his presence felt tonight on Collision.
New Japan Pro Wrestling strong openweight champion for 287 days after defeating Eddie Kingston for that championship.
That's a hell of a track record. 287 days doing anything is amazing to me in this game.
And now Butcher's going to sit him on the outside, and Kidd got the first blow in with a kick to the midsection. Butcher.
A lot of strikes in this matchup. At some place, you got to believe that one of these dudes' body's going to forsake them.
Well, right now, you saw Gabe Kidd slump down up against the apron of the ring.
The Butcher, very heavy-handed, JR.
Big, strong guy, raw bone.
Oh, pick up over the top. Oh, my God.
Nothing soft about that landing. It's on the floor.
I'm the realist. None of you lot can touch me.
Gabe Kidd never shy about running his mouth. Began training as a professional in the New Japan system under Katsuyori Shibata, who right now, of course, is part of the Ops alongside Samoa Joe and the cold-hearted handsome devil Hook. Gabe Kidd, obviously.
Man, what a collision that was. What a collision that was, that toxic clothesline.
That training you talked about was at the New Japan Los Angeles dojo. Look, you see the strike marks on the chest of Gabe Kidd. And Butcher is trying his best to get up.
Referee Rick Knox giving the 10 count to the Butcher on the floor. Butcher.
He got up to about 8 with the count.
Come on, let him in. Let's go. Come on, let him in. Up.
I'm intrigued by Gabe Kidd. I'm really intrigued by him.
I think you can definitely say, JR, he is a force. And one that's to be really that's to contend with. I mean, like you said, Excalibur, we saw Don Callis watching. So if Callis has his eye on you, you know that he is turning some head. Watch out. Ducking low, Butcher. Oh.
I don't play.
Gabe Kidd, big time comebacker lariat, taking the Butcher off his feet, and now Kidd. Oh!
Something tells me Kidd is just not mentally stable.
1, 2, 3.
but he's a winner here tonight.
Here's your winner, War Ready, Gabe Kidd.
Well, he's war ready.
Oh, now look at this kid. The assault after the bell. I think Don Callis liking what he's seeing here tonight. This propensity for violence out of Gabe Kidd.
You said it, Excalibur. Gabe Kidd, decisive, dominant win in his debut here on Collision. And now let's go to Lexi Nair, who is caught up with Don Callis and the Photostar Kyle Fletcher.
I've got Don Callis and Kyle Fletcher here. Kyle, we saw at Grand Slam Australia.
Oh, you want to talk about how I got booed in my home country? Is that it? Is that why I'm here?
No. What I was going to say was at Grand Slam Australia, we did...
You want to talk about how I had a fantastic showing, but I didn't quite get the job done. Is that it, Lexi?
No, what I was actually going to say was at Grand Slam Australia, we saw Will Ospreay challenge you to a steel cage match at Revolution.
Oh, that's what it is. You want an answer, don't you? That's what you want.
Yes.
Can we talk about what I want for a minute?
Please.
What he wants? You know what? You know what I want, Lexi? I want you to stop gaslighting us with these questions. Yeah, you're trying to cause trouble.
Oh, yeah.
You're trying to get in his head. And that's a place you and Will Ospreay don't want to be. Ospreay, as talented as you are physically, you are equally mentally deficient to think for 1 second that it's in your best interest to get into a steel cage with a man who tried to cripple you and almost put you out of professional wrestling, with a man who's 6'4.5", 235 pounds. He's bigger, stronger, and faster than you. And we are going to use that steel cage like a Vegematic on your face, Ospreay. How's that for some gaslighting, Lexi? I'm going to need therapy after this interview.
Well, all you have done for years is take and take and take from me, and Revolution, it ends. You want me in a steel cage? I accept.
Well, there you have it. Kyle Fletcher has accepted, and Tony Khan now makes it official. For Revolution on March 9th, it'll be a steel cage between Will Ospreay and Kyle Fletcher.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall with a 20-minute time limit. Introducing first from Bloomington, Minnesota, Julia Hart.
A big fan of this young lady. Psychologically, she's strong. She's resilient. Her wrestling skills are amazing.
And she's a former TBS champion. Held the title for 155 days. And, of course, member of the Hounds from Hell, Excalibur.
Alongside Brody King, Buddy Matthews, the Hounds of Hell. And Julia Hart, the type of athlete that, despite her young age, wrestles well beyond her years.
She's got a lot of confidence. I don't think there's any question about that. And she gets that, I think, by being beside guys like Brody King and, of course, Buddy Matthews, the Hounds of Hell. She's got quite a challenge for her here tonight, though, as we go back to the ring for the next introduction.
And her opponent from Guinea, West Africa, Queen Aminata.
Here's another young lady who has made a lot of strides here in AEW since her arrival. We are taking a look here, gentlemen, at two women, and we've followed their careers from inception here in AEW to see how far they've come. Both ladies have come a long, long way. It's going to be a great matchup here on TNT and on Max.
Queen Aminata, this was not her chosen career path, JR, but ultimately it was the career path that called to her, the siren song of the professional wrestling ring, and now she finds herself with a huge opportunity facing a former TBS champion in Julia Hart.
She's very athletic is the Queen. Julia Hart playing some mind games in the early going here. She's very good at that. Like I said earlier, I sign off on the potential success of Julia Hart. She's a winner. She's a keeper.
Notice how Julia not even looking at her opponent until right now. She was just not paying attention, just a smile on her face, looking around, and now ready to tie it up with Paul Turner, the referee. Great to have you with us here on TNT. We are a week removed from a fantastic night of course, in Brisbane, Australia, and we are heading to Sunday, March 9th at Revolution in Los Angeles at the Crypto.com arena.
Well, Aminata trying to show up Julia Hart.
Show up, show out, make an impression. She did all those things.
And I think the patience of Aminata, JR, paying off here in the early goings.
You're less likely to make a mistake, a game-changing mistake, if you take your time.
And Tony, you mentioned we're on the road to Revolution on Sunday, March 9th, live on pay-per-view. And this coming Wednesday, we'll have a stop in San Diego, California, actually just north Oceanside, Front Wave Arena, and we will be live coast to coast, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific. They'll cover there. Whoa, very close calls. We'll be live coast to coast this Wednesday night on TBS and Max, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific.
For San Diego, the home of Excalibur, and I'll be a guest of his for dinner the night before. Here we go. Rolling through.
That's Julia Hart.
1, 2.
I haven't heard that story, Shivani. You got all connections.
I got connections. Snapmare takeover that time, and just a solid kick to the back, to the lower ribs.
Not fancy, and neither was that, but you could hear the impact. Flesh on flesh. That's what you got out of that deal.
Yeah, Aminata using those powerful legs, delivering the kick first to the spine, then to the front, and now the hammer throw into the corner. Julia Hart in trouble here.
Aminata is strong. She's physically stronger, in my opinion, than is Julia Hart.
JR, I'd definitely be inclined to agree with that assessment as Aminata blistered the chest of Julia Hart with those chops. And fans, we're just over 2 weeks away from the Revolution, coming up live on pay-per-view from the Crypto.com arena in Los Angeles, and it will be the Rated R superstar, Adam Copeland, challenging Jon Moxley for the AEW World Championship. And as we saw this past Wednesday night, Tony Khan made it official. MJF, Hangman Adam Page, one-on-one in Los Angeles, plus Timeless Tony Storm, Mariah May, the third match in the trilogy, the AEW Women's World Championship on the line. A lot of bad blood, and this one is Julia Hart bouncing the head of Queen Aminata repeatedly off the mat.
And fans, there's a 1 count. This match in the women's division continues on Max and TNT.
Aminata rising up, some body shots on Julia Hart. Oh, Julia. Swift knee followed up by that hammering elbow. Driving Aminata down. Now Julia senses the headlock. And now center of the ring. Julia Hart, all of her weight on top of Queen Aminata. Aminata, though, she is quite strong, as we've seen. Is she going to be able to power out of this or even counter out of this? Aminata looking to return to a vertical base. Again, the body shots. Trying to loosen the grip. Now they'll roll up the cover. 1, 2.
Aminata just has the ability, strength-wise, to overpower Julia Hart.
And she's got a pretty good grip on her right now, but Julia Hart with a textbook vertical suplex. And now she'll try to cover out of that. Only got a 1 count, but had a pretty good pinning combination that time.
Yeah, Aminata, though, powerful legs, able to kick out. Just a 1 count, but Julia Hart now applying pressure on Aminata against that bottom rope. Referee Paul Turner giving Julia the 5 count for the illegal hold. As Aminata out to the floor with a bit of an assist there by Julia Hart. As Julia taking a moment to catch a breather. Aminata likewise taking stock of what her next approach is. What's on the next page of the game plan? How does she neutralize this edge of Julia Hart?
And right now, Julia Hart, right now, just as you can see, Aminata playing a little game of cat and mouse, but she's buying some time here, Excalibur.
Aminata doesn't want to be caught on the apron. That's just smart logic.
Yeah, I mean, JR, to your point, the most dangerous position you can be in is that transition from the outside of the ring into the ring with your opponent on the inside.
You're right, and that's what Julia Hart's going to try to capitalize on if she gets the opportunity.
Great call, Excalibur. You roll in the ring and you take your eyes right off your opponent.
And relax a little bit, to be honest with you.
Oh, now they're starting to swing away at each other here. We continue on Collision. We are coming to you from Phoenix, Arizona. Tony Schiavone, JR, and Excalibur. And there's a backbreaker by Queen Aminata.
She's strong. She's stronger than her adversary. And now she's being able to impose her will as the queen.
Look at that, Julia Hart. Almost out of instinct, got back up to her feet. Her momentum carried her. But Aminata, these snap suplexes.
Yeah, Excalibur, that's 2 in a row, and both have been textbook. And Julia comes right back up again, like you said.
She's resilient, but maybe at times she should take a little break.
Aminata, the first athlete from Guinea, West Africa to be a professional wrestler on a global stage, and this could be the biggest win of her career over former TBS champion Julia Hart. Aminata, does she have this match in hand?
Well, I'm surprised she's not trying to cover it because Julia Hart is getting back up in the corner.
One doesn't want to give Julia second chances. Not smart.
There she goes.
Counted up for a lack of experience.
That was a kick hip attack combination that time, Excalibur. 1, 2, and a 2 count.
Yeah, because of the long legs, because of the reach of Queen Aminata, when she comes in with that boot in the corner, that's like, oh, cover again. JR, that's like a javelin coming into Julia Hart's face.
Yeah, absolutely. She's taking advantage of what the good Lord gifted her with.
1, 2.
A very tight pinning predicament, a high stack by Aminata.
I don't know Julia Hart's going to be able to rebound and win this match, quite frankly.
Rolls her up, 1, 2, and a 2 count. Thrust kick. Looked like it caught Queen Aminata on the jaw that time.
Yeah, Aminata could have been looking for that Queen's Crown, that lunging headbutt.
1, 2, got a 2 count.
Julia Hart feeling the anticipation, countering with that thrust kick, Tony.
What a great competition in women's division that we are watching between these two ladies.
They're both very talented. They're both very hungry. They both need a win. It's that simple. That's where they've checked every box.
Julia likes that moonsault press from the top.
She's got her opponent position on the feet.
Boots up in the face by Aminata.
Well advertised.
Oh,
was that one?
A German suplex, but as Aminata gets up, Julia Hart is rising up. Julia Hart just will not stay down, guys.
She's running on fumes right now, Tony, I think. She meaning Julia Hart.
And again, Hart is getting up and stalking over her slowly as Queen Aminata feeling very good about what is going on in the match right now, as you can tell.
And Julia Hart, who last year returned from a lengthy layoff due to injury. Ring rust may not always be apparent at first, but it has a way of catching up with you.
Couple of back elbows, make it 3 to the head. Stunned Queen Aminata. Here goes Julia Hart.
Oh, look at this, Hart. Looking for that Manjigatami, the flying octopus hold. She's got Queen Aminata in the center of the ring.
Could be over in a heartbeat.
It is over. There's your heartbeat, JR.
Here's your winner, Julia Hart.
Great resilience, counter wrestling by Julia Hart.
Now you can see by Julia's face not escaping this match completely unscathed, but leaving with a hard-fought, hard-earned victory here tonight over Queen Aminata. Julia Hart, the Hounds of Hell, definitely a unit to watch in 2025.
On one night in the City of Angels.
The AEW World Championship is the most important thing in this industry, and you want to hide it away?
The whole world will set its eyes on our Revolution.
You think I don't care about the AEW World Championship?
Los Angeles
At Revolution.
Cope versus Mox for the AEW Championship.
You have no idea the mistake you're making.
AEW Revolution.
You're all mine!
Go to AEWTIX.com for details.